What's up guys, it's Matt from TDM Style here. Welcome back to the channel once again, and today we're taking a first impressions look at the brand new American Gardens Clay Pomade from Shear Revival. So I just got this in the mail the other day, obviously haven't used it yet, and I'm super excited to take a look at this. I know a lot of you have been asking me about it, so I thought that I would do, the first impressions thing just in the interest of trying it and getting the video out as soon as possible. So here we are. So as you can see, I've got freshly washed and blow-dried hair right now, so I am ready to go. But first, let's take a quick look at the specs on this. Starting out with packaging and pricing, this comes in Shear Revival's standard 3.4 ounce or 96 gram, TSA friendly by the way, amber glass jar with a black aluminum lid and their stick-on labeling. And this will run you $18 US, and they do also offer free shipping for orders over 30 bucks. So if you're getting a couple of things, you don't have to pay any shipping. Now, as far as what this thing is supposed to do, this is a stronghold dry matte finish clay pomade, and they self-describe this as their, quote, strongest and driest product to date, which, I'll be honest with you, when I was ordering this on the website and I read that in the blurb, I was like,
how dry do you want it?
As a person with a thick, coarse, wavy hair type, super dry products are generally not my friend. It's just the way that things are, especially now that, we're in this whole quarantine thing and I haven't been able to get a haircut for like over a month and a half now, so my hair's starting to get really long. So that was another reason I wanted to do this kind of first impressions thing and get into this as soon as possible before my hair gets any longer. Because just as a general rule of thumb, dry products like really dry clays or matte pastes or other things that are like really dry, matte, sticky, they just work better on shorter hair. It's just the way that they are. Like really, if you have hair my length, like generally speaking, matte pastes should not really be for you. Those are more for like shorter textured styles. Drier clays are kind of the in-between one where you can go either way, so I am curious to see whether or not this is going to work for me at all. But before we do that, we gotta crack this bitch open and talk about that scent. Actually, before I crack this, so they're calling this a wild orange and oak moss scent, which sounds amazing, so let's nose in. Oh fuck! Ooh, actually, ooh, yeah, that smells real fucking good. Oh, it's like very light and subtle, and you get like the sweet orange first, and then it's just backed by that like earthy oak mossy. Fuck me up, man. Yeah, it smells very natural. It's definitely like Shear Revival's thing. It's very on brand in that aspect. But yeah, it smells great. So quickly, we'll talk about some of the ingredients. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I'll talk about kind of the key players here. So this is 100% vegan formula with 99% plant-derived ingredients. So I mentioned the aloe, that's kind of like the water base. It's also in there as a dandruff preventative. Then we've got shea butter for deep conditioning of the hair and scalp. And we have bentonite, sea clay, and kaolin clays in there as obviously big texture producers, and they're also meant to help kind of strengthen the hair at the root. So with all of that information out of the way, let's finally get into the demo and get this bitch into my hair and see what happens. So I'm gonna move the camera in a little bit closer, and yeah, we're just gonna get after it. All right, so as I mentioned already, I've just washed my hair and blow dried it. Now, I did use, so I always pre-style with 25 spray as a base, and today I actually also added about a half a pump of some smoothing serum, just knowing that this is supposed to be really strong and really dry, and fully anticipating that it's probably gonna be a little tough for me to apply. So I did a little bit of extra smoothing to kind of combat that. However, I am also just now noticing that in the instructions for use on the side of the jar, they recommend, it says apply small scoops as needed to towel dried hair, style as desired, or use on damp hair followed by a blow dryer for added volume and body, apply more as desired. So, you guys know me, I'm a dry hair styling boy, but I have used some similar products that do work well, kind of if putting a little bit into damp and then blow drying it in. So if applying this into completely dried hair is like a total failure or something, then I'll probably do some editing to this video and maybe try it the other way. We'll find out. But without further ado, let's take our first scoop here. So it does look, it's got a nice grayish kind of bentonite-y color. Ooh, this definitely got a tough tough top layer. It's actually kind of spinning in the jar a little bit right now. We'll go with that. That's about a dime-sized amount, maybe a little bit less. Oh, I can smell the orange a little bit more now. Yes. All right, so actually, you know what? I'm gonna try to be smart here and not go in with the palms. So another thing that I've learned from professional hairstylists, and especially when using like dry products, it's better, for me anyway, if I work it into the fingertips more so than the palms, because then it's easier to get it into the roots and not just have it all caked onto your palms, which is then just going to be kind of pulling at your hair. So as far as the breakdown here, it is feeling pretty smooth. Clay, in. Ooh, yeah. It is dry, but with that being said, well, okay, well, yeah, so brushing it forward wasn't bad. Now, out going the other way, as expected, is tangly at my ends. Which, you know, as I mentioned already, that is a thing that happens to me with very dry products. So I kind of fully expected this to be happening. Had some, you know, wishful thinking that maybe it wouldn't. But so it's not the worst, driest, tangliest thing I've ever used. I don't know why, it's always the back of my head that gets like the worst tangled. Ow, fuck. All right, yeah, it's getting pretty dry back there now. That's what she said? No. I mean, the texture is looking great. And it's, you know, as of now, the matte finish isn't super dry. I mean, it's a nice level of matte. Oh, Jesus. That, you know, so my hair doesn't look like straw. It just kind of looks like it naturally does. Ugh, I should have brought a wide tooth comb down here with me. It's not bad up front, which I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe I just did a little bit better job smoothing my hair in the front with the blow dryer, and the back is still a little bit wavy or something. I don't know. As far as the hold strength at the moment, I mean, it feels strong in the back. I think maybe I just ended up applying a lot more of the product back there than at the front, which is why it feels pretty waxy back here and not so much up here at all. So like up here, the hold is not feeling real strong at the moment. It is in the back though, where all that tangly shit is happening. So like I don't really want to apply any more product because I don't want it to be any more tangly, but I feel like I need a little bit more hold in the very front. So I think we're gonna try to grab a very small amount here. So I'm just gonna try to get that literally just into the front here. Oh god, yeah, as expected, even with the additional smoothing serum and stuff that I used, it's applying into fully dried hair at least is not pleasant for me. I mean, they said it was gonna be dry, and boy, it's dry.
I'm gonna make it so dry for you.
I mean, it looks nice though, the texture looks nice. Well, the good news is it washed off my hands super easily, so I can definitely see how it is a very, you know, water-soluble, washable formula. And now that I don't have any more product on my hands, it's already feeling better in my hair. Like the tangliness is starting to dissipate, and it's only been like a minute. So that's promising. So I'm going to leave this the way it is. It does feel like a maybe medium firm hold for me at this point right now. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to go do some stuff, let it sit for a few hours, and then we'll come back and see how things end up. And then, you know, potentially maybe I'll try this with the damp hair blow dry approach as well. We'll see. All right, so it's been about 6 hours now. I'd say we're still looking pretty good. The hold has definitely been pretty strong. I think we're, you know, my hair is long, so we're seeing a little bit of volume deflation as to be expected. Tell you what though, the dryness is gone now. I mean, the shea butter, like, she did work. So now it's very soft and smooth, and obviously I have no more tangly bits, and I can easily run my fingers through it. It's still matte, but, you know, it doesn't look dry. Like, it looks like my hair still has a nice natural shine to it. Texture still looks good. You know, is it worth the very dry, very sticky, tangly application for me to have a nice result at the end of the day? I'm not sure, because there are, you know, other products that yield a similar result, softness and whatever later, that are also already kind of like that at application, but it's certainly not bad. I mean, I really like the end results, and like my hair feels great now. So yeah, I think maybe tomorrow this will be like a double first impressions moment. Tomorrow I'll try the damp hair followed by blow dryer application, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, we're back, day 2, freshly out of the shower, hence my rosy cheeks. So now I can comment on the washout as well. I definitely needed shampoo to get it all out. It didn't come out with just water, but with that being said, it was very easy with any old shampoo, so that's what I expected. So I already have my, 25 and a little bit of smoothing serum in my hair, so now we're gonna try the into damp hair followed by blow dryer approach. Stop spinning, bitch! Alright, so we're gonna, once again, small scoop here. Get that warmed up in the fingertips. There are some tiny bits that are hard to break down all the way in the fingertips. But... Okay, damp hair, in. Well, so I can still feel the stickiness, but it is, at this point, much easier to apply. I can still feel like it's hard to explain. Like I can feel the dryness of the clays, and I can feel that once I blow dry it, it's going to have the hold, but it is definitely applying 1,000 times more smoothly. I'm not getting that tangly shit at the back. All right, well, that was certainly much easier, so now we're going to go blow dry a bitch back in 2 ticks. All right, so can confirm damp hair application followed by blow drying is definitely the way to go. I mean, look at it now. Yes! Yeah, so it was, at first, when I first started blow drying, like in with my fingers, it did, instantly get like a little bit sticky and dry, but going through with a paddle brush was no issue at all, and then followed up with the round brush for styling. And now I have absolutely no tangles. It has a nice, matte finish, and it feels like what I'm used to for like a, dry but not too dry. It's got a really nice texture. The volume's good. It still feels lightweight. I feel like it's got, it's got some movement to it, but I feel like it's got about the same amount of hold as I had with the dry application. So, I mean, this was just that one small scoop, and I think it's going to be enough for me, because this feels like probably more like a medium to medium firm hold rather than, like a straight on strong. But that's fine for me, and I really don't want to experience dry tanglies again, so I think I'm going to leave it the way it is, go do some shit for a while, and we'll test the endurance on this application. Alright, so it's been about 4 hours, and I can tell right now that, this is definitely more of like a medium hold situation. I could have dialed it up to a stronger one if I had used more product, but I like this. Like, this shit is my jam. Like, it's got a nice hold, it's nice texture, it's keeping things together, but it's still flowy and soft, and there's no tangly bits or anything. So yeah, I can say the damp hair method definitely worked a lot better for me. Alright, so overall, first impressions on the new American Gardens. Well, I guess first, probably the burning question on everyone's mind is, how many wardrobe changes can one guy have in a single fucking video? 4. The answer is 4. But no, so first impressions, obviously for me, dry hair application was not ideal. Which I expected going into it. I mean, they told us straight up, like, this is our strongest and driest product to date, and she dry. However, after, reading the directions and trying it in their recommended method, applying it to damp hair and then blow drying, that was an absolute win, and that came out great. And either way, even the dry application, you guys saw after a little while of being in the hair, it did soften, and the tangliness and dryness definitely died way down. And I found the hold to be a little bit stronger in the dry application. I probably could have dialed it up in the damp hair method if I used a bit more. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, it worked very well. Really nice matte, but not like overly straw-like dry finish. Great texture, lightweight in the hair, very just restylable, and still like kind of flowy, but maintains the shape really well. Love that scent. So, I mean, is this going to be my favorite clay ever? No, because, for me, as a coarse-haired person, a super, super dry, strong product is just not going to be ideal. It's just the way it is for me. But I could see this working super well for those of you with finer, straighter hair, or especially even like shorter, more textured styles. So that wraps things up for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this and found it helpful. Please do stay tuned. Plenty more content coming your way to keep you busy during this annoying quarantine that hopefully we'll get through soon. So if you haven't already, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all that. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching. We'll see you at the next one.